So you're looking to buy a set of aftermarket wheels. Trust me, it's complicated. There's a lot of numbers and calculations and sorts of variables that kind of get in the way of choosing what you need. Hopefully today I'm going to help you explain some of those complicated numbers because I've done a lot of research in the background when I was choosing the set of wheels I'm about to show you. I bought these wheels for my car, and I'm going to go through the exact process that I took in order to make sure I had a correct fitting wheel. And hopefully I can break it down for you guys to help you decide as well. So let's get into today's video, and hopefully you learn something. These are the new wheels I picked up for my BRZ. I didn't think the day was coming that I was going to be ordering these wheels because these are exactly what I wanted for my car. But there was a lot of research and thinking and a lot of decisions I had to make sure that these were going to fit my car. So let's show you the wheels. I'm going to break down the process, like I said, that showed me exactly what I needed in order to purchase these wheels. So let's get these opened up. Alright, now that I got them out of the box, this is my official unveiling of the new wheels for my BRZ. These right here are a set of Superspeed RF06RR. And let me tell you, the specs on these are insane. Let me get you a close-up of these wheels because they look amazing. Alright, now that you've gotten a close-up shot of the wheels, I'm going to go through and break down the specs that I have on these specific wheels. So the wheels I have today are an 18-inch wheel. They're 18 by 9.5 inches wide, and they have an offset of plus 42. EV is a certified inspector of the wheels. Thank you, EV. So the reason I went with an 18 by 9.5 over an 8.5 is I wanted to have maximum width for extra grip on my car because I do plan on either tracking the car or just having fun. I wanted something that was super aggressive. So where does the plus 42 come in? So the plus 42 is the offset of this wheel. Don't worry, I'm going to be breaking down the offset later on in this video so you have an understanding of what it is. So when I go ahead and rotate the wheel here, you can kind of see there's some concaveness to the wheel. So while the spokes don't really stick out necessarily because it's plus 42, it is a 9.5 inch wide wheels, so there is some extra give to the offset spec. So these look super aggressive. They're gonna look really, really clean on the car. And I think overall, I'm just very excited to have these wheels. I've been dreaming of these wheels since I went to a car show back in like 2019, 2020 maybe. I'll post a picture up right here so you guys can have a look and see what I'm talking about. I used to dream of having my old BRZ with red wheels for some reason, and I wanted this spec of wheel in their candy red, which I thought looked amazing. So let's get into the actual point of today's video, and I'm going to break down each specification so you understand what it is and maybe how you can actually use that information and apply it to your own build, especially if you don't have like a BRZ, you have something that's a little bit different, maybe not as common, and the wheel specs aren't really out there. So let's break it down. All right, so the first topic we're getting into today is what type of material is my wheel made of? So that's going to dictate the strength of the wheel. It's going to dictate the durability of the wheel. It's also going to be how it's processed. So the overall finish and quality is either going to be good or just not as good. So there's three types of main wheel development out there. So there's cast, kind of like if you had like a winter steel rim, that would be kind of like a cast wheel. So they have a mold that they just pour the metal into, and it's cast like that. Don't ask me about the finishing process for the other ones, because honestly, I don't really know. The next one you have is flow form wheels, which is what these are. So these are a higher durability and strength, and they take a little bit longer to make than a cast wheel. So what happens is there's a specific type of machining process that allows these wheels to be made better and a little stronger than a cast wheel. Now, the only way you can get better than this is if you get a forged wheel, which is what a lot of companies like to offer. A forged wheel, you have those really high prices that you see online for a forged wheel. Those are probably the highest durability you can get on a market grade wheel. Now, the design I went with today is a 6-spoke design. That has nothing really to do with the strength of the wheel or anything like that. The design of the wheel is totally opposite to the actual functionality of the wheel. Now, by saying that, there are a lot of wheel brands out there that specifically go for certain wheel types to match a certain aesthetic or strength to the wheel. Like if you have aero discs, then you're just getting more air into your brakes. The next thing I want to talk about is wheel size. Now, this is a pretty easy one to get down pat because each car comes with a factory size. Now, either you can upsize or downsize depending on what kind of build you're going with. If you're trying to go for a meaty setup, maybe keep it at an OEM size or downsize by 1. So for example, on my BRZ, it comes with an 18-inch wheel. And if I wanted to go for something a lot meatier, I could go with a 17-inch and get a higher aspect ratio tire to fit on that. We'll get into tires a little bit later on here. So what I went with is an OEM spec. So we have an 18-inch wheel, so I didn't differ from that at all. I could still get 18-inch tires and wouldn't have a problem. The next thing you're going to want to worry about when choosing a wheel is you're going to want to worry about the width of the wheel itself. Now, I went with a 9.5. So a 9.5 is pretty big for a BRZ. The width is from this end to this end here, from face to back. It's 9.5 inches here. So now you kind of have an idea. Oh, I've upsized my wheel spec in the middle here, so I need to be a little more concerned about the tire that's going to fit in here. But for a 9.5, that just allows me to put a wider tire on here, so I please. Next up, one of the things I want to talk about, and is probably one of the more serious topics of this video, is offset. It's where a lot of people kind of get confused or don't really understand how it works. So I'm going to break it down into a couple small sections here that might actually help you understand what it is. Let me get a ruler. All right, so before we get into offset specifically, what I want to touch on is offset's going to vary depending on what size of wheel you get. So it doesn't matter that I have an 18-inch wheel. An 18-inch wheel is irrelevant to this case. What matters is the actual width of the barrel itself. So if you have an 8.5 versus a 9.5, then the offset is going to be a little bit different depending on which one you go with. So now that I've mentioned that, let's break down what offset is. So for offset, what you're going to want to do is very, very simple. This is how it's measured. You're going to want to measure the distance from the outside points. In this case, we already know what it is, so it's 9.5. With that 9.5, you find your center point. Once you find the center point of your wheel, that is going to be allocated as the 0 point. Let me bring you in a little bit closer because I want you to actually see what this looks like. So you've kind of got an idea as to what offset is. It's the measurement from the 0 point outwards. So anything towards the face of the wheel is going to be a positive offset. Anything towards the back side of the wheel past the 0 point is a negative offset. So that's why you see people with negative offset wheels are usually 2-piece or 3-piece wheels, so you can get that measurement dialed in. Now, that's one topic we're not getting into today, is a 2-piece versus 3-piece wheel, or you have your single forged, flow form, all those wheels. It doesn't matter what you're getting into, wheel specs will remain the same. Now, I want to give a huge shout out to WheelWiz.ca for helping me choose these wheels. This is not sponsored, mind you. If you guys were looking to sponsor someone, I would love to work with you guys. So WheelWiz.ca, what is it? It's a wheel website within Canada that helps you choose what wheels will suit your car best. I kind of had an idea that I wanted these wheels. I kind of wanted them for a long time. I like the design and the spoke, all these little caves in here that look really cool. I thought that these were what I wanted. Now, I didn't know what specs I wanted. I knew I needed an 18-inch wheel, and I had an idea that I either wanted it to be 8.5 or 9.5 inches wide. Was I sure about the offset? No. Because just like you're probably confused as to what the heck you need. So I reached out to WheelWiz. One of their experts actually reached out to me back. It's a person, not a robot. They help you decide what is best for your car. If they think it's not going to fit, they'll let you know. We kind of went through the whole process as to what would work for my car. They weren't really sure that this spec would work. I did test fit these wheels. That's going to be in a later video when I do a reveal. I mean, I guess I kind of revealed them now, but I highly recommend you guys go check out WheelWiz.ca for your next set of wheels. Moving on from today's video, like I said, that was not sponsored. So, you have an idea. You have your 18-inch wheel, and you kind of have an idea that you want to be 8.5 or 9.5 inches wide. Perfect. What offset do you need? I had to use online calculators. They didn't even tell me if it was going to work. So when I reached out to WheelWiz.ca, I was kind of guaranteed, like, hey, this is going to fit your car. Test fitted the wheels. I sent pictures into them just to make sure that everything was cool and clear before they actually closed the ticket and everything was good. So we kind of landed on the fact that if I wanted this style wheel, I'd have to go somewhere around a plus 40, plus 42 offset, maybe something even less than that, maybe like a plus 38, just to clear the actual suspension components. I'll put a picture up here. You can kind of see my hand is quite literally in between the suspension and the wheel. I can only fit my fingers through there, and that's not a lot of room. But everything's kind of stationary, so it's not going to hit anything. As long as I don't get a super meaty setup, we'll be good to go. So the best way to figure out your offset that'll fit your car, honestly, I would trust the professionals. At the end of the day, you can kind of take a wild guess. There are measurement tools out there, but there's no real way to see what a wheel would look like on your car. I have something in the works because this is something that needs to be made. It's something that we are missing in the car community, and I don't want to give away too much, but we got something in the works to help you guys plan out your builds. It won't be anytime soon, but trust me, it's going to be baller. Now, we got to touch on a couple more subjects. Number one, what the heck is a rep versus a real wheel? I hear this conversation online, and depending on who you ask, their answer is going to be different than the last person you ask. It's an ongoing battle that nobody will ever solve because it is the stupidest thing to ever talk about. The only thing that should matter to you is, does the wheel look good? Yep. Is the wheel going to form to my build? Is it going to suit everything that I have going on? Yep. Is this a flow form wheel that's durable and it's going to last a long time? Yup. Did I ceramic coat them because I want them to last longer? Yup. At the end of the day, it does not matter if you have reps or real wheels. There's no real definition of this anymore because the more you dig into something, the more you'll find out it is a rep of something. Rep just stands for replica. You are replicating someone else's work. I mean, if you look at Conseil, they are all reps of other wheels. If you look at BBS, they have some replica wheels of some other Japanese brands. Where does it end? It doesn't matter. In my opinion, it does not matter what you have. As long as you're happy with the wheels that you have and they look good on the car, what does it matter? If you go into my comment section and you tell me that blah, 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 these aren't real wheels, these are reps, I understand exactly what these are. Do you? Anyway, let's move on to the final topic. We're talking about tires. For the love of God, please check tire specs before you put something on the wheel that's going to blow up. You see how wide this is? I don't want to see you boys putting 215s on a 9.5 wide wheel. That just doesn't make sense. What does make sense is putting 235/40 on a 9.5. What makes sense is putting 245/35, 255/35, 265/35. What doesn't make sense is a 225, a 215, a 205. It doesn't make sense. So what you're going to want to do is you want to go to 1010tires.com, link in the description if you're interested, and you're going to put in the wheel size that you have, your car's stock profile, and then you're going to put in the wheel size. You're going to up your wheel size if you're changing to a different wheel size, and it's going to tell you what will fit. It'll have a minimum, a maximum. It's perfect. I'm a huge tire guy. When I worked at Ford, I was a tire specialist. I helped some of those truck guys put some big meaty 35s on there, but I had to make sure that they would fit, clear suspension components, and all of that. As long as they had the wheels, they're good to go. So when you're choosing a tire for your car, make sure it is going to meet the specifications of the wheel, because we are not blowing tires out here. All right, it's 2025. If we're still stretching 215s on 9.5, I think we're doing something wrong here. Okay, listen, love you guys. You're great stance boys. I could never be a stance boy. I have mad respect for you guys that do it, but please be smart about it. We don't need anyone getting hurt. We don't need someone to blow a tire on the highway because they thought a 205, a 195 should be fine on my 9.5s. No, we're not doing that. Tire responsibly, if you will. Anyway, kind of concludes today's video. If you choose the right size for your car, you have to choose the right width, you have to choose the right offset. Just know that there are forums out there. WheelWiz will help you. 1010 tires can help you, or any kind of tire calculator. Heck, I even think Fitment Industries has a wheel and tire calculator. Use it. But if you really want help, go to the professionals, because I mean, this stuff is hard, and just like you, I wanted to make sure that I had the right wheel setup. Even if you're buying someone's Facebook Marketplace $500 wheels, make sure they fit. Because I mean, as long as you get the bolt pattern down right, it will technically go on your car, but will it fit? If you're going for a stretch look, if you're going for a stance look, if you're going for track, if you're going for poke, it doesn't matter. Do your research, and hopefully what I've told you today will help you out, because I struggled to. I can't tell you what exactly is going to fit on your 2016 Honda Civic. I can't tell you what's going to fit on your 2018 M3. I got no idea. What I do know is offset matters, size matters, width matters. I'll leave you guys with that. I hope you enjoyed today's video. It's a little bit different than what I'm normally used to doing, but I really needed to make this video before I slapped these wheels on my car, because I did a lot of work and research into making sure these fit. So I hope you guys do too. And please consider subscribing, because a lot of you are not subscribed. Analytics here. I'm going to leave you with one thing for today, guys. Be nice to the others in the car community, because we're all just out here trying to enjoy our cars. We're just having a good time. I know personally I don't really go to car meets anymore, but I like spending time with my friends, and I don't hate on other people's builds just because they're doing something different. All right. Also, we've hit 100 subscribers, so I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for subscribing to the channel and enjoying the content. Hopefully, not hopefully, things are going to get much better from here on out. I have a lot of content planned, so if you enjoyed today's video, please leave a like and comment down below what your favorite part of today's video was. If you learned something new, let me know. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I'm going to leave some B-roll at the end here so you can see what the wheels look like in case you missed it the first time. Thanks again to WheelWiz for helping me out picking these wheels. Again, not sponsored, and Superspeed makes an amazing product here. So thank you for everyone involved for this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Peace, guys.